On Global TV News Express, President Bola Tinubu and world leaders bid Pope Francis farewell. In business, WhatsApp challenges FCCP says $220 million fine, seeks stay or order. On the foreign scene, Trump's government restores visas for foreign students after legal backlash. And in sport, Amusa set for first hurdles race in 7 months. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 SAT. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, will lead a 5-member delegation to Vatican City to attend the burial of His Holiness Pope Francis. Today, Saturday, April 26th. The delegation, which is at the behest of President Bola Tinubu, includes the Minister of State, Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, President of Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Lucius Iwejuru Ugwoji, Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Hassan Kuka, and Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, Archbishop Ignatius Ayua Kaigama. The delegation will formally deliver a letter conveying President Tinubu's sympathy and condolences on Pope Francis' passing to the acting head of the Vatican. The Kano state government has uncovered irregularities in the payroll system of local government councils, as no fewer than 247 staff members were discovered to have either retired from service or died. This revelation is contained in a statement by the Press Secretary, Office of the Secretary to the State Government, Musa Mohammed. The discovery revealed that the names of the affected local government staff have been appearing in the payroll and their salaries running. The Kano State Chairman of the New Nigeria's defection of prominent members in the state, Doguwa, stated that the defections did not come as a surprise, blaming the Kwakwansia group for pushing members away from the party. He had the defections to what he described as maltreatment and inequality within the party, allegedly orchestrated by leaders of the Kwakwansia group. According to him, the frustration led to the departure of many members. He has approved the establishment of a national cotton and textile board.
Said the move is aimed at boosting the economic reforms program of the current administration. Uzodinma noted that after interfacing with representatives of the cotton and textile sector, the council was satisfied with their recommendations and endorsed the establishment of a board and 6 regional officers that will coordinate the activities of the sector, leading to the renewal of the hitherto moribund cotton and textile industries.
Council considered that to make it more functional, that their proposal for a public-private partnership where government will partner with the private sector to put this sector back to order, and that whoever that will be the chairman will come from the private sector, and the body should be funded from the textile import levy currently being collected by Nigerian Customs. So Council endorsed the presentation and approved the establishment of a national office and regional offices in each of the 6 geopolitical zones.
Nigeria's Economic Council, NEC, also approved the establishment of the Green Imperative Project's GIP National Office in Abuja and regional offices across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abba Kyari, who disclosed this, said GIP will help in addressing the crisis fueled by the current system of animal husbandry in the country.
Considered the following prayers to acknowledge the GIP setting of regional offices across the 6 geopolitical zones, and also to endorse the regional offices of the Green Imperative across those states, and the states are also encouraged to participate, because what this seeks to do is to catalyze. The $1.1 billion is to draw up core investments, private sector driven, from all other investment promotions.
Meanwhile, the National Economic Council deferred discussions on the proposed establishment of state police due to time constraints during its extended meeting at the council chambers. Bayelsa State Governor Doyo Diri confirmed that the matter was on the agenda but could not be discussed due to the limited time available.
State police was part of our agenda today, but unfortunately, because of time demands, and after a very long, we have been there for a very long time now, the presentations were unable to get to that bit of it. So I can assure you that in our next meeting, that issue will be exhaustively discussed. Thank you.
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State addressed lingering concerns surrounding the National Livestock Transformation Plan, NLTP, a key initiative aimed at curbing farmer-herder conflicts through modern ranching systems.
Has already identified all the various technical schools owned by the federal government, and they have worked on equipping the schools, and they are working now on ensuring that there are enough technical teachers in order for the program to be successful. So the minister was asking council and all the members of council, especially the state governors, to also participate in this new initiative so that now we will continue to reduce unemployment.
The council, which held a minute of silence to honor victims of recent violent attacks in Plateau and Benue states, emphasized the growing urgency of addressing the state police initiative amid escalating security concerns nationwide. Uyi Agbumofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says no amount of blackmail will bring peace to Rivers State. For peace to reign in the state, Wike says all critical stakeholders, including members of the National Assembly, must be involved with sincerity of purpose. He stated that the declaration of emergency rule averted calamities that would have occurred in the state. The Akpetu of Ikpetu Modu in Osun State, Oba Joseph Oloyede, and a Nigerian pastor, Edward Oluwasomi, are facing possible prison sentences in the United States after pleading guilty to charges of COVID-19 relief fraud. Oba Oloyede, a U.S.-based accountant and information system expert, was appointed the new Akpetu in July 2019. The monarch and Oluwasomi were arrested in early 2024 for their roles in a scheme to fraudulently obtain $4.2 million in COVID-19 relief funds. The two men were charged with 13 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy defraud, money laundering, and engaging in monetary transactions in criminally derived property. The First Lady of Sokoto State, Hajia Fatima Aliyu, officially unveiled the 2025 oral polio vaccination campaign, reaffirming the state's commitment to protecting the health and future of its children. Represented by the Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Hajia Hadiza Shagari, the governor's wife described the campaign as a life-saving mission and a public health movement aimed at protecting children under the age of 5 from polio and other preventable diseases. The police command in Nasarawa State says it has recovered an English-made Beretta pistol with 12 rounds of 9mm live ammunition during a successful raid. This was contained in a statement in Lafia by SP Rahman Nansel, Police Public Relations Officer in the state. Nansel says the operation was part of the strategies adopted by the State Commissioner of Police, Shatima Jaro Mohammed, to tackle criminal elements in the state. According to the PPRO, the firearm was recovered at a hideout for criminals popularly known as Me and You in Massacre area of Karu local government area of the state. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has raised the alarm over the regrouping of Boko Haram insurgents in the Tumbu areas of Lake Chad and the Mandara Hills within the Sambisa forest in the state. The governor disclosed this in Maiduguri when the Minister of Defense, Badaru Abubakar, Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and other top military commanders paid him a visit. Zulum lamented on the setback in military operations in the state, saying Boko Haram terrorists were freely breeding in Tumbus water areas on the Lake Chad without much effort by the military to dislodge them. The FBI has arrested 22 Nigerians allegedly involved in a financially motivated sextortion scheme that has been blamed for more than 20 teen suicides in the United States since 2021. The agency announced in a statement on its website. In the report published, the arrests were part of a first-of-its-kind global operation, codenamed Artemis, conducted in collaboration with law enforcement agencies in Canada, Australia, Nigeria, and the United Kingdom. The FBI launched Operation Artemis nearly 2 years ago after receiving thousands of reports of teen boys being coerced into sharing sexually explicit photos online and then extorted with threats of exposure unless they paid. You're watching the live broadcast of the News Express. When News Express returns, Tribunal upholds FCCPC's $220 million fine against Meta and WhatsApp. Details coming shortly.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global.
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, affirming the Commission authority and actions in nearly all the contested issues. In a statement signed by prevailing laws, discharge its mandate and exercise its powers within the confines of the 1999 Constitution. It ruled that the multiple actions by WhatsApp and Meta for which the Commission made findings of violations were correctly identified and that the Commission did not err in making those findings. Meanwhile, WhatsApp announced on Saturday that it would swiftly move to stay and appeal a ruling by Nigeria's Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal, which upheld a $220 million fine imposed by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. In a statement issued in Lagos and shared, the messaging giant expressed its disagreement with the tribunal decisions. The tribunal's ruling not only upheld the hefty penalty, but also directed WhatsApp and its parent company, Meta Platforms Incorporated, to pay an additional $35,000 to the FCCPC for investigative costs. The President and Investment Lab, a body tasked with boosting investment and job creation in emerging economies, the World Bank announced Dangote's appointment as part of a broader expansion of its to attract private capital and create jobs in the developing world. In a statement confirming his acceptance, Dangote reaffirmed his commitment to fostering sustainable economic growth through private sector-led investment, noting that the transformative potential of such initiatives in developing markets. On the foreign scene, the Trump administration is reinstating visas for hundreds of foreign students whose legal status was abruptly terminated, promoting widespread fear of immediate deportation. The move follows more than 100 lawsuits filed by students who lost their legal rights to study at U.S. universities. Many of the impacted students had participated in political protest or faced prior criminal charges, like driving infractions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio previously stated that the administration would revoke the status of individuals whose actions it deems contrary to U.S. interests. Canada would hold an election on Monday following a campaign electrified by U.S. President Donald Trump after promising voters he has the experience to stand up to the United States. A victory for Carney's Liberal Party would mark one of the most dramatic turnarounds in Canadian political history. On January 6, the day former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his plans to resign, his Liberals trailed the Conservatives by more than 20 points in most polls, and Tory leader Pierre Poilievre looked certain to be Canada's next premier. In sports now, Nigeria's table tennis prospect Taiwo Mati has cited financial constraints as the main barrier to reaching the next level in his international career, following a tough stretch of results at recent WTT events, including the 2025 contender Tunis. In an interview, the 20-year-old remained upbeat despite an extended run of losses in men's singles stretching back to January's WTT contender Muscat. Mati is ranked 10th in Nigeria and 562nd globally by the ITTF, and he recently bowed out of the singles competition in Tunis after losing both group matches 3-1 to Malta's Kim Tae-yoon and 3-0 to India's Snehit Suravajula. World record holder in the women's 110-meter hurdles, Tobias Musa, will compete in the season opener of this year's Diamond League in Xiamen, China on Saturday, marking her first race in the hurdles since crashing out of the Paris Olympics in August 2024. Amusa was confirmed as one of the entrants for the Xiamen Diamond League last week. The three-time Diamond League winner has led a low life off the tracks and returned for her first race of the season in the 100-meter last month, running the season's best of 11.28 seconds to win the Velocity Vest Fest 16 in Kingston, Jamaica. As we end the Global News Express, here is a recap of our top stories. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, will lead a 5-member delegation behest of. In business, WhatsApp announced on Saturday that it would swiftly move to stay and appeal a ruling by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. On the foreign scene, the Trump administration is reinstating visas for hundreds of foreign students whose legal status was abruptly terminated, prompting widespread fear of immediate deportation. Tobias in 2024. And that's it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on StarTimes channel 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. You can also follow Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.